Hi you guys, welcome back to Barbie's Awesome World, or welcome to Barbie's Awesome World if you are new here. So for today's video, I decided to craft another room since my last video that I did, I really loved and a lot of you guys loved it as well. So I decided that since Skipper now finally has her own room, and if you watch my Skitters Club episode, and if you don't, you definitely should click on the eye over here to watch the recent episode. But anyway, I was thinking that I should make a room for each of the characters in the Skitters Club, which will be a lot more fun to film and create awesome ideas for the episodes. So for today's video, I will be DIYing a bedroom for the one and only Krista. As you can probably tell by the episodes, Krista is super sassy, dramatic, rude, and she always dresses up super fancy, and that has a lot of background story to it. So just stay tuned for the next coming up episodes and you'll get to know Krista a lot more. So I thought it'd be a great idea to make her her own room. So without further ado, let's start creating Krista's bedroom. For this project, I will be using foam board as always. You could use cardboard as well, but I want to use foam board just because it's a lot easier and cleaner. But if you don't have any foam board, cardboard works just as amazing. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the full entire piece of a foam board, and I'm going to measure off 4.5 inches, which will leave the entire piece of foam board at 25 inches. I will make my marks, trace out a line, and cut it out. The floor of the room is 20 inches by 25 inches. I'm going to cut out a very large window right here on the left side of the room. The window is 10 by 13 inches. I'm going to cover the raw edges of the window with pieces of printer paper. Alright, the base of the room is fully put together. It is a really big room. It is a lot bigger than Skipper's room that I did in my previous video. So I'm going to put the measurements in right now if you'd like to craft the same exact room as me. The length is 20 inches, the width is 25 inches, and the height is 20 inches. As you can see, I have the very large window over here. I'm super excited about this window because I think it would look really good in this very large room. So what I'm gonna start doing first is covering up the walls and the floor with the wallpaper that I'm gonna be using for this room. I'm going to be using this white marble that I just printed out off the internet, and I think it's gonna look really good on the floor. It's gonna add a really rich and modern touch to the room. Alright, now that the floor is fully covered, I'm going to be using this light pink paper that I printed off the internet as well, and I'm going to be using it for some parts of the wall. I'm still planning on doing something for the back wall, so for now I'm not gonna put any scrapbook paper there for now. You'll kind of see later on why. So now that I have all the walls and the floors that I want covered in scrapbook paper, I'm going to start to put strips of foam board as baseboards to cover up the raw edges. Next, I'm going to cut out 4 pieces of foam board that are 3 inches by 4 inches and one foam board piece that is 3 inches by 3.5 inches and glue them together. make 2. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I'm going to make 2 big shelves on both sides, and I'm going to glue them onto these little boxes that I made. Those are going to be the bases of the shelves. So right now I'm going to cut up strips of foam board and make the shelves. Alright, so I cut out strips of foam board with the measurements of this cube. So basically I have one that goes in the back, and then these 2 go on the sides. But before I glue them on, I'm going to draw the shelf lines where I'm going to put the shelves, so it's going to be easier and like a little guide for me. So I'm just going to make the lines right now. So I want the shelves to be pretty big, not like super tiny, but where there could be like a nice bouquet of flowers standing on them. So they're going to be about like, I'm going to have them be about 2.5 inches apart, like that. All right, and now that I have it all traced out, the height of these is 15.5 inches, and the width is like 3.5 inches, and this one is just 3. This one's actually, no, 2.5 inches, and this one is 3, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Now I'm going to start gluing them on to this little cube. Alright, so here is what I have. I have this like shelf. It's super tall, and now I'm going to start by just putting in the shelves. So I cut out 5 shelves out of foam board, and I'm going to glue them into the shelf right now. And then I'm just going to cover up the top of the shelf with foam board to kind of make it a little bit more modern and add a really cute touch. And here is the final look of the shelf. Now make 2. Alright, I got the 2 shelves done, and I think the second one turned out even better than the first one since I got a little bit of practice. So now I'm going to glue them to the side of the walls. Alright, so I glued on the shelves onto the walls, but I had to rip off the baseboards where I glued them on because it wouldn't be even. So now I'm going to add baseboards onto them. Alright, and now that I got the shelves all put in place, and before I go any further, I'm going to put this pink marble scrapbook paper on that wall. So I put the room down like this so it's easier for me to glue on the scrapbook paper. Alright, so now that I got that all covered up, I'm leaving a space over here because that's where the bed is going to be, and you won't be able to see the back anyway, so that's why I just left a space over there. But now I want to add some foam board strips on these 2 sides for a cleaner edge and like little baseboards. Alright, and now I'm going to start doing the bed. So for the actual headboard, I'm going to be using 2 of these foam sheets that I got at Joann's craft store. And so I'm going to glue these 2 together, and it's going to be a really nice headboard, and it's going to be really tall. So this is the fabric that I'm going to be using for the bed. It's this light pink fabric. I honestly don't know what it's called, but it's like pretty thick and it has like some fluff inside. And I thought this would be a really nice idea because it looks like really well done and the bed will look super like modern and cute. So I will right away cover the headboard in this fabric, so that will be done and ready to go. All right, now I have it all covered up in fabric. All right, and to start with the bed frame, I have 2 pieces that are 9 inches by 3 inches, and I have 4 pieces that are 14 inches by 3 inches. These are the things I'm gonna be making the bed frame out of. So this is gonna go at the footboard, and these are gonna go at the sides. So I'm going to start off by gluing these pieces together in a nice, strong bed frame. All right, now I have these 3 pieces and I'm going to cover them in the same fabric that I covered the headboard. All right, so I have all of the pieces for the bed covered in the fabric that I need, the headboard and the bed frame pieces. I'm going to start gluing them together, but I'm going to leave half an inch from the bottom because the headboard will be a little bit taller than the bed frame itself, just because of the way I have the bed planned out. So I'm going to measure off half an inch and glue it on 1 inch higher. The bed fits perfectly into the room. All right, and for the mattress, I'm going to be using foam board. I have 2 pieces that are 35 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters and 2 pieces that are 19 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters, and the top of the mattress is 36 centimeters by 19 centimeters. And I'm going to put them inside of the bed and glue them together. So I'm going to start off by covering all of these pieces in fabric. I'm going to be using this bright pink fabric for the mattress and basically like the sheets. All right, so here's what I did. I put all of those pieces inside of here, and here is the top for the mattress. It's basically just gonna be out of foam board, but you know, no one has to know that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue in here so it'd be a little bit more secure. So I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue right there. And then after that, I'm just going to glue the top onto the top, obviously. And here is what the bed looks like. I'm going to use this fabric for the blanket. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out 2 pieces and glue or sew them together. I'm going to glue them because hot gluing is just makes life a lot easier, and make a nice cute comforter. All right, so here is the blanket. You can I'm pretty sure it's more like a comforter for the bed. Just gotta push in the sides. And now I'm going to start making the pillows. Next, I cut out 3 pieces of foam board that are 8 inches by 3.5 inches, and I'm going to glue them together. All right, and now that I have this all glued down, I'm going to take this mirror paper and I'm going to stick it on to the vanity table. Once I have the desired piece, I'm going to very carefully peel it off. I'm just going to trim the edges to clean everything up. Hey, Garfield. Next, I'm going to cut out 4 pieces of foam board and glue them on to the edges. Next, I cut out a piece of foam board that is 3.5 inches wide and about as long as you possibly want. There isn't a specific type of measurement that needs to be the length. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bending it and kind of creating a circle shape. So you just want to like crunch up the foam board so that it has a nice round edge and so that it could be turned into like a circle. Alright, so this is what it should look like. You should be able to like form it, you know what I mean? And I think I'm going to cut some off because it is a little bit too long. And I'm going to hot glue this together. Alright, I think I'm happy with my shape. So now I'm going to cut out a circle for the top, basically like a lid. I'm just going to take another piece of foam board and put this on top and simply just trace it around. Alright, so here's my circle. Once it fits perfectly on the circle thingy, I'm going to take the same fabric that I used for the bed and the pillows, and I'm going to cover these pieces in this fabric. And we have a little ottoman. Alright, then I cut out 2 pieces that are 3 inches by 1 inch, 2 pieces that are 3 inches by 2 inches, and 4 pieces that are 2 inches by 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the 3 inch by 2 inch piece, and I'm going to glue the smaller pieces onto it with hot glue. I'm going to cover the pieces in pink fabric. Alright, now that I have all of them covered up in fabric, I'm going to start to put the pieces together and glue them together. So this is what it's supposed to look like once you've glued all of the pieces together. Next, I'm going to take wooden dowels and I'm going to glue them on the bottom of the nightstands as legs. Once it looks like this and it can stand on its own, I'm going to get one of these little clips and I'm going to glue it on as a little knob. Oops. I cut out this piece of fuzzy fabric and I'm going to use this as a rug. OMG, you guys, I cannot believe that the room is complete and I cannot believe that I crafted this myself. I'm literally so happy right now. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm so proud of my work and this took so long. I'm super sorry for not uploading for like 2 weeks, but just so you know, I was crafting this room the whole entire time. So I really hope you enjoyed this room as much as I do. It's definitely worth all the work and all the time that I've spent working on this room. So yeah, I really hope Krista enjoys it, and it literally gives me Krista vibes right here. This is literally the room Krista is literally gonna live in. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this DIY video. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And also let me know down in the comments who from the Skitters Club should I make a room for next. So yeah, with all this said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, the shoutouts for today's video go out to Carson and Cambry's Doll World and the Doll Tuber. Thank you so much for supporting me on my social media and on my YouTube channel. Remember, if you like a chance of receiving a shout out in my next video, all you have to do is give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below #BAW, and you will get a chance of receiving a shout out in my next video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Barbie's Awesome World. And with all this said, I love you guys so much, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!